Duin versus Ali Antrazi, a black-green Delirium mirror. They're already underway, so let's get to the board state. On Brian's side, 20 life points. He has Mind Rack Demon, Tireless Tracker with 1 counter on it, and Grim Flare. Looks like he has Delirium as well, and that's going to be a tough order for Ali. Ali, however, some board of his own. 2 clues, a Tireless Tracker, a Kalitas Trader of Get. And you see as we go toward, we're right now resolving Grapple with the pass from Ali.
Looks like a noxious Gear Hulk in the mix there. That would be huge with that Kalitas.
And if you're looking at Ali's graveyard, this is something we saw yesterday in one of his matches. What he has done for this mirror match is he has 2 copies of Gonti, Lord of Luxury, the rare from Kaladesh. It's a card that he believes to be very good in this mirror.
You can use it to trade or just eat a Grim Flare in combat and replaces itself.
Yeah, it's very solidly a 2-for-1. You know, you're not gonna, it's hard to get rid of a 2/3 Death Touch in this matchup without spending a card. So Ali will cast that, then he will crack a clue.
And if you're able to snag one of your opponent's few copies of Emrakul, that's a huge swing. Now, you don't have any control over whether you can do that, but when it happens, it's great.
And then let's say Deadweight on the Mind Rack Demon. I was going to wonder if we were on Brian's end step or Ali's main, and that answers it. Ali's main phase. We go Brian on end step will crack a clue, draw a card.
Brian really wants to find a Grasp of Darkness to get this Kalitas off the table.
Yeah, if his creatures start dying, he does not want Ali to make them into zombies. Draw for Brian Braunduin. 6 lands currently in play. He's got Tireless Tracker going, but no clues left. Not yet.
And Brian's on all basics here. We have 3 Forest, 3 Swamp. So a lot of his lines, you know, best possible turns here likely involve double kill spell. Most of his kill spells are double black. So it's going to be really hard to execute an excellent turn here.
Let's see, here we go. Grapple with the past will be the start. Traverse Ishkana Evolving Wilds into the yard. Gets him his 5th card type. And looks like Brian's just going to bring back a basic Swamp. Could have had double clue off Evolving Wilds, but no time for that, not with an unanswered Kalitas. So he'll play another Tireless Tracker, then play the 2nd Swamp, get 2 clues, and leaves up that double black.
Yeah, so I would hope that since he found Swamp, obviously he intends to use the mana this turn. If it's just crack clue, it's not the most exciting. If he has Grasp of Darkness, that would be a huge swing.
Swings for just 2 with the Mind Rack Demon. Ali Antrazi drops to 10. But these pair of Tireless Trackers could grind out the game for Brian.
So Brian knows about that Noxious Gear Hulk here. 6th untapped land would allow him to do that.
But it's an Evolving Wilds. That's a good play there for Brian that Ali doesn't have it immediately. So Evolving Wilds will get him a clue. For Antrazi, we see he has 5 card types in the graveyard. He will cast Ishkana, bringing along the 3 Spiderlings.
Kind of a sigh of relief for Brian here that Ali couldn't just Gear Hulk, get rid of one of the Tireless Trackers, get a zombie, more solidify his board position. The Ishkana buys time, but Brian has a couple clues. He can dig for a removal spell for the Kalitas, and he has double tracker to Ali's single tracker. So he can kind of start pulling ahead. If he's able to find a removal spell for Kalitas and Tireless Tracker, that's a massive swing.
Some end-step clue action from both players. We go to Brian's next turn. Those Tireless Trackers are getting pretty large. One of them is up to 6/5, the other one at 4/3.
On the following turn, Ali will be able to Gear Hulk down one of the trackers, which will be significant.
Yeah, it'll turn it into a zombie as well.
Brian would love to have an Evolving Wilds as his land drop this turn just to get those extra clues.
Vessel of Nascency for Braunduin. He's going to go look for more. He sacrifices that. Top 4, Ishkana, Vessel, Grimflare. Those are his options. He's going to take the Graph Widow.
Ishkana is good. Brian would really love to be casting Emrakul instead, but
That Vessel brings Brian's Delirium count up to 6. So he does have the mana for Emrakul if she shows up. Cracks a clue again. Tireless Trackers grow, but he knows about this Noxious Gearhulk. Brian has tons of cards, but do any of them matter?
Looks like he does not have a land in his hand expressly.
Traverse the Ulfenvault will be the play for Bronduin.
Wonder if he's going to tutor for Evolving Wilds. No, just Emrakul.
No, gonna get the
That's too
Promised
cute.
End.
Yeah, he didn't have access to Emrakul already. He has a Liliana in his hand, but there's no Emrakul in his graveyard, so getting access to that is significant.
So we go back to Antrazi. He has the Gearhulk on Tireless Tracker play, which looks pretty good. If this happens, though, he knows that he will get Emrakul next turn. Keep in mind, these players are on game number 3. They're that 4 minutes and 10 seconds up at the top. That is accurate.
If you would like to play in the 11 a.m. sealed,
Especially when you've seen these games and players start Emrakuling each other back and forth. That can take some time to resolve.
Yeah. And once you get into an actual extra turn scenario,
Well, that's just a mess.
Emrakul really throws that off because the extra turn, that counts.
So we will go to Antrazi. If he has a discard spell out of the board, we certainly will see him use that.
Yeah, getting that Emrakul out of hand is definitely something you want to do ASAP.
Grapple with the Past from Antrazi. Mills 3, and Ishkana a Grasp and a land.
So I'm not positive. I think I might have spotted a Distended Mindbender in Ollie's hand. Then he has one copy and is registered in his
Oh, it
main
is?
deck.
Oh, wow. So this is so good.
I did a double take at that, but I'm pretty sure that's what's
This
happening
is so
here.
good.
Yeah, that'll be able to get rid of the Emrakul and something else out of Brian's hand potentially.
Well, I mean, it could get even, you could go farther. It could get something like Emrakul and Grapple. Yeah, he's going to turn the Ishkana into Distended Mindbender that will emerge out. So now we look. Ishkana, Emrakul, Liliana, Mindwreck Demon, Grimflayer. So,
How about Emrakul plus Liliana?
yeah, something 3 or less and something 4 or greater. Yeah, Emrakul and Liliana both taken with the Mindbender. A huge play for Antrazi.
And the Mindbender does just discard. The Liliana could have bought back the Emrakul, but the Mindbender just gets both.
So now Antrazi is going to play a Liliana out of hand, bring back Ishkana. So the Emrakul crisis averted here for Ollie, but those Tireless Trackers are still doing a lot of work for Brian.
True. His hand is just more creatures, and this is a very difficult board to actually break through on. A land would be among Brian's better top decks here, to be entirely honest.
Yeah, just get the double tracker engine running again.
Right.
A grab. Okay, I was going to say transgress. I'll say grapple would be better. Brian, though, will transgress and get rid of the Noxious Gearhulk from Ollie's hand. That's a big play also.
Yep. Now Ollie's just left with Ishkana.
Yeah, Ishkana of Brian's own and played.
Of course, Ollie has 3 spider tokens already. He has 7 lands on the battlefield. He'll be able to start draining for a very significant amount.
Well, he had to. Oh, yeah, because he can play another Ishkana. You're right.
Yeah, he sacrificed the first to the Distended Mindbender, too.
Fair enough. And keep in mind that on that McVitie token, there are 4 clues in play for Antrazi. And now that the game has become about this attrition game, those clues are all going to matter. So cracks 1 clue, draws a card, leaves up 5. Is play of Ishkana still available? Got to decide whether that is better than that really has any play better than Ishkana. The Tireless Tracker has strong players now under 1 minute remaining. Ollie, if you're going to win this, you got to hurry up. Here's the Ishkana. She brings along 3 more Spiderlings. That means 7 spiders.
And if we find ourselves in an extra turn situation, Ollie does more damage with his Ishkana, but Brian has significantly less damage he has to deal.
Yeah, he's at 10. Brian's at 20. And he's got to go. If Ollie's going to drain him out, he needs 3 turns to do it. I suppose he'll be turn 1 of extra turns, so he does have those 3 turns available, in theory. Going back to Brian Bronduin. It looks like this will be turn 0. Can either player win before the clock runs out?
Must have drawn something pretty good to potentially divert from this Ishkana plan.
Liliana the Last Hope is the draw. That's a pretty good one.
That can become an Emrakul.
Stand it open, then it's time in the round. Active player complete your turn. They complete 5 additional turns. Again, Magic players in the standard open.
Yeah, keep in mind, Distended Mindbender is a discard, not an exile effect, so that Emrakul is in Brian's graveyard.
Now it's in his hand.
That's even better. And Brian's turn here is turn 0, and that Emrakul that he has gotten back, that's going to mess up the sequence of extra turns. So how this works here, this turn counts as turn 0. Every time and turn 5 will be the last turn of the game. Now, if no one makes extra turns happen, turn 5 is going to be Ollie's, but who knows about that one.
I got a pretty good idea that Brian would like to make an extra turn happen here. So Ollie's turn 1, Brian would be turn 2. So Brian actually ends up getting the same number of turns with this Emrakul math, assuming no additional Emrakuls happen, because he would be turn 2 and 4. Instead, he would be turn 2 and 5.
Sure.
Now, Ollie having an Emrakul, that'd be a very different turn of events.
So, turn 1, Ali Antrazi. He's going to use up the last of the Liliana, the Last Hope, mill himself for 2, get another creature back.
And this is kind of a last-ditch effort for Ollie to find his own Emrakul.
Yeah, Ishkana looking at the card he wants to get back again. We mentioned how he could try to drain Brian out. That's looking harder and harder.
In particular, if Brian's controlling his turns, he won't have enough turns in extra turns to do lethal damage.
Sure. Yeah, if he has turns 1, 3, and 5, he could do 7, 7, 7. But that's not going to happen because Brian's taking one of those turns. It's a mess.
Yep.
So Ali is going to go ahead and crack a clue. Tireless Tracker will draw him a card. I'm not sure then, if he can't drain out with Ishkana, how Ollie wins in time.
No, it looks like Ollie's best case scenario is a draw.
Traverse the open vault for Ali Antrazi.
And Brian's got enough stuff on the battlefield. He can do a lot of blocking on the turn that he takes from Ollie, really mess up what Ollie has going on, and potentially convert this into a win on turn 5.
For Emrakul. Well, I suppose in Ollie's situation, he could make an Ishkana again, go up to 10 spiders, attack and drain. You know, maybe he can get close enough where one lethal attack does it.
Yeah.
He's gotten Emrakul off this Traverse. Not enough mana to cast it this turn, however. Yeah, Ollie's going to cast and Legend Rule away his own Ishkana. So spiders all the way up to 10.
And now part of the equation for Brian is not just casting the Emrakul. He wants to produce a way to get the Emrakul out of Ollie's hand. Whether that be his own Transgress the Mind, or maybe finding a way, maybe Ollie top decks one on the extra turn.
And this is it. There's so many spiders being made that we've run the coverage table out of spiders, and now Ishkana's just gonna have to make Pikachus.
Surfing Pikachu among the more tasteful spider tokens we could have had.
Another clue here for Brian. This is turn number 2. He has the Emrakul in hand that he got last turn, and he's got Ali down to 10. Now the question is going to be, how does Brian win? I mean, Ali has so many blockers. They all have reach.
If Brian can't get the Emrakul out of Ollie's hand somehow, and it looks like it comes down to Ollie top decking a Transgressed on the turn that Brian is controlling.
And Brian doesn't have any more turns because it'll be turn 3 will be Ollie's, turn 4 will be Ollie's, turn 5 will be Brian's turn that Ollie controls. There's no attack step left for Brian.
Yep. With Ollie finding that Emrakul, it looks like we've kind of built this game towards an inevitable draw.
Well, let's hold on. Ollie does have some discard in his sideboard, cards like Transgress the Mind. Brian could crack all of his clues, hope to draw a discard spell, and have Ollie transgress himself.
Right.
And if it works, maybe Brian wins. There's a lot of clues there. This isn't unreasonable.
Yeah. That's probably just what he has to do.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I mean, it's an out.
Ollie's pretty much has to spend his next turn just casting that Emrakul.
And some worse news is Ollie only has one transgress in his sideboard. He cut the other ones for Gontis. So.
That's unfortunate. 2 in the main deck.
Oh, okay, no, there's 2 in the main. All right. He has some. I bet they're still on the list.
Yeah.
They didn't come out. So yeah, if Brian can somehow, and that's what he's doing. He's gonna start cracking clues. Draw a discard spell. No, he draws a forest. Try again. Draws a Pilgrim's Eye. Nope. Try again. Try it. Does he have another line?
There's nothing else for him to do. These cards in hand don't matter. Ollie can't convert them to anything with the number of turns left in the game.
Try again. I mean, I'll tell you, when I'm getting Mindslavered, I like it when my opponent just makes me draw lots of cards. And on the last one, he hits Pick the Brain. Now let's get the wording on that. Is that target player or target opponent? I know that target opponent.
No.
Oh no!
That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
It's so close.
There's still an untapped land. He gets one more crack at a clue, right? He hasn't made a land drop yet.
Oh, he hasn't made a land drop? Okay, so he can still hit Transgress.
That Pick to Brain it's
really close.
That's a real bummer.
Okay, well, first Tireless Tracker's going to attack. Emrakul's going to block it. The 9/8 Tireless Tracker's not big enough to slay an Eldrazi. Okay, Ollie's going to make some really bad attacks now. Kalidas is going to swing into Grim Flayer. Distended Mindbender. That's going to attack.
And
into Mindwrack Demon. The little dot there, the Mindbender was shrunk by Liliana, so another poor attack. Ishkana is going to swing into Tireless Tracker. None of these are good. Ollie's going to probably suicide away some Pikachus. Or spiders, as they are. He can make him kill 3 of them, it looks like. So just enough to get all the Pikachus?
looks like you can get
4?
4, yeah, an extra with the double spider.
Pick the brain. So close. So yeah, Ollie will attack with lose 4 spiders and all the rest of his creatures. Brian loses nothing, but Ollie does gain 3 off the Kalidas.
Indeed.
So up to 13. A very convenient number if Brian can ever get another attack here. But Ollie's still threatening that Emrakul in response. Last chance. Can he hit Transgress the Mind? Can he draw a card? And it is Ruinous Path. That is not going to play.
Nope.
Yeah, Ollie's looking. You see it there. Both players know. Brian playing to his out, but not hitting. And now he'll pass. This is turn 4, and Ollie's in control of it.
About time to shake hands, I imagine.
Yeah, if he casts. So the line here is going to be Ollie's going to cast Emrakul, take turn 5, say no attacks, and say, well, that's the end of the match.
Yep. And it looks like with Brian hitting that Emrakul first, were this game to reach its natural conclusion, Brian would likely be the winner. But that's not how Magic works. You get 50 minutes to finish your round. Looks like these players should be picking up a draw.
So if Ollie didn't have an Emrakul here, it looks strongly like Brian's next attack is lethal.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of things going on. And an Ishkana activation. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Not how that works. Here's Emrakul from Ollie, and that's going to force the draw. Just does Brian have a response? He says, I'm going to draw this game.
And there's a spot one player could decide to concede to the other for any reason. I don't imagine that's going to happen here.
With the way, and that is going to be a draw. With the way this tournament works out, 11-3-1 should be a good enough record to top 8. Mm-hmm. And with that being the case, I just don't see either player drawing right now.
Yeah, the draw seems fine. Obviously, it's not what you want.